Well, the new Nike ad campaign featuring Colin Kaepernick and the slogan, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything." That has inflamed Americans who believe it's another shot at patriotism, building on the kneeling during the national anthem efforts. But there are others who feel that it is a statement on behalf of minorities who have suffered from police brutality and racism. Kaepernick hasn't even played football in 2 years. Heck, I've played in as many NFL games as he has during the past 2 years. None. And by the way, someone pointed out that he's become the real-life Al Bundy who can't play football, but he is now selling shoes. Taya Kyle, who's the widow of American sniper Chris Kyle, said this: "Taking a stand, or rather a knee, against the flag, which has covered the caskets of so many who actually did sacrifice for everything for something they believe in, that we all believe in. Well, the irony of your ad, it's almost leaving me speechless. Were you trying to be insulting?" Well, that was her words. By the way, in less than 24 hours after Colin Kaepernick first revealed the spot, Nike received more than $43 million worth of media exposure, according to Apex Marketing Group. But almost overnight, Nike's favorability rating dropped by over 34 points, going from 69 down to 34. Also, before the poll, only 2% reported hearing negative sentiments about Nike. After the Kaepernick announcement, 33% said they'd heard negative things about the brand. And their evaluation tanked by $3 billion. Now, as for me, I'm joining with my music friend John Rich in steering clear of the Nike brand and its decision for now. If you see it differently and you're headed out shopping, I wish you no ill will, and I hope you get a good deal. I do hear that Nike is now planning on capturing the market in knee pads, and that in the future, they will only sell shoes for the left foot. Our second story of the night: a Croatian man named Braco will stare at you for 10 minutes for the low, low price of just $8. I'm not kidding. And all with no personality or even energy. People claim that he's created romances, brought peace, and even provided hope, all by simply gazing at his audience. Some people are so addicted to Braco that they attend back-to-back gazing sessions in order to feel whatever it is they think is happening when this guy stares at them. Now, he doesn't give a speech, he doesn't sing, he just stares at them. Since 2008, the man with a profitable case of the stares has only actually spoken to people in his inner circle, who often happen to be lovely models. Many of those who believe in the gaze guy end up buying his DVDs for fill-ups and sometimes even rub them on their skin to ease body aches and pains. And that's at only $35. Or you can spend up to $5,000 for his sun-inspired jewelry line. How can you go wrong with that? If Braco's gift of gazing is so effective, I think we ought to hire him to visit Capitol Hill and gaze softly into the eyes of unhinged congressmen and journalists. Heck, I'll even pony up the $8 for each of the politicians and journalists. Maybe he could stare some sense into them. And I wouldn't mind giving a few of those Democrats on the Kavanaugh committee just maybe a noogie or two with a Braco DVD. I know one thing that you can take to the bank. Braco must have won every staring contest with the kids in his neighborhood when he was growing up, no doubt about it. I think I'll just stare at the audience for a while. I'll get the $8 later. Our next story. The term efficiency has long been used for smallish apartments in big cities, but the city of St. Louis is breaking new ground with distinctive architecture. They've combined the kitchen, the bathroom, all in one tiny layout. The kitchen and the bathroom. Just think of the decorating and culinary opportunities when you have the bathtub, the toilet, oven, and fridge all in one convenient space. Yes, that's right. Think about that. Now your guests can head out on the porch so someone can use the restroom before they come back together for the next course. And I guess the need for that extra chair has been solved when someone shows up unexpectedly. Pretty sure my new favorite dish would be mac and for bees. The 200-foot apartment goes for just $525 per month, and it has potential renters flush with excitement. It's all part of a rehabbed 111-year-old building and does feature some hardwood floors and new windows. Oh, and there's a water-saving feature. You can wash the dishes as you take your bath. Now, how are you going to beat that, huh? All right, our next story. It's from our Crime Doesn't Pay file. Mason Tackett of Floyd County, Kentucky, had his phone burning up when neighbors called to tell him that his cousin Philip was robbing his home. When Tackett arrived on the scene, his stuff was all over the lawn, and his cousin was talking crazy. He kept shouting, "I didn't do it," before pulling a gun on Mr. Tackett momentarily. Then after the police arrived and the dust settled, Tackett took inventory of the stolen goods and was perplexed. Quote, "Who steals a cheese grater, an empty bottle of Lysol, and some soap?" I mean, seriously, who steals soap? Tackett believed that there must have been a bad batch of methamphetamine whipped up in the county because, he said, Floyd County has gone crazy the last 4 days. Well, Tackett's cousin was charged with receiving stolen property and being a convicted felon with a firearm. So it was soap and the dope, cheese and the sleaze, and some spray and some cray-cray. That's what we had going on there. And finally, the Miami Herald endorsed Republican candidate Bettina Aguilera, who is running to replace his standing representative for a district that included parts of Miami and Miami Beach. While she lost her primary bid, people are in disagreement as to why. Aguilera had been a city official, she'd been a business executive, but as the Miami Herald noted, we realize that Aguilera is an unusual candidate. And what's so unusual, you ask? Well, Aguilera had appeared on Spanish-language TV shows to describe her experience of being abducted by aliens when she was 7 years old. She explained how 3 beings, 2 women and a man, spoke to her telepathically and took her aboard their spaceship. Inside, she saw round seats that were there and some quartz rocks that controlled the ship, and she claimed she had communicated with them several times since then. And people were split as to why she lost the primary. Really? The Herald's editorial page editor, Nancy Ankrum, defended their selection of Aguilera, declaring, "Here's why we chose her. She's not crazy. I don't think we went off the rails here." And the failed candidate also stated, "I was abducted by aliens, but that doesn't define me." Well, I can think of some current members of the Senate and House I'd like to see abducted by space aliens, but please don't bring them back. And that is the news that we keep up for you, and it's why we gaze at the news, national, international, and intergalactically, so you don't have to.